program towards a successful career. How to build a resume. So, step one has to think about which is going to plan for their career throughout their life. Second, about how to do a job analysis. I'm getting more into it. So how to do an effective job analysis, understanding the organization, understanding the role that we are going to perform, and understanding about oneself, how we are going to fit into that particular job role that is being considered. That communication device. It's an instrument device wherein we communicate ourselves to the what is in front of the person who is reading the resume. Confidence level, it is a very paramount importance. We will see the best practice of over the internet. You may find hundreds of articles, lot of things are written, lot of things are already said and discussed, okay, and you see as well about the resume template, a lot of things, but I would like to give you an overview of the complete resume so that you will be having a very good knowledge about what the, rather than just looking into bits and pieces. So holistic view of telling about the resume, I told you, it is about expressing yourself, expressing your confidence, and as though you are being there. Now, you would have heard about curriculum vitae, biodata market as well. You know, English is a specific meaning for each and every word that is being used. No two words are alike, even though at a high level they may be same. A resume, curriculum vitae or biodata or a profile, it all talk about a job market and how you represent yourself. However, there is a subtle difference there between these two. A resume, for that matter, is a maximum 2 or 3 pages document highlighting your experience, your skills, knowledge, the educational qualifications and the work experience that you carry. Not more than 2-3 pages. Whereas curriculum vitae is basically it's about it can run into any number of pages. Okay, it can run into any number of pages. It talks about in detail about your skills, knowledge, work experience, your educational qualifications, any kind of voluntary services you did. Data, it refers to more also about your personal details as well. From where you have come from, what's your history, what are their details, okay, what are your interests, hobbies, right? Also, apart from all other details that I spoke to you about, the curriculum vitae and the resume as well. So biodata is a very well detailed document. Profile is another synonymous word with a resume carrying the similar kind of information, wherein it will enable. Okay, so having an understanding of these terms is very important because those who are very well experienced, okay, should always go with a resume. Even the freshers, entry level job seekers as well, of course, you have to go with a resume which provides a snapshot of your entire experience and the knowledge and skills in a 2-page document or 3-page document, which is something sought by any first time, because no one will have a patience to go through all the details that you are going to write. They will get hundreds of resumes, so they have to go through, understand at a high level what your capabilities are, okay, then select or move on. So in this respect, always going for a resume is where I am going to use the curriculum vitae. The curriculum vitae is more prevalent in Europe, Africa countries, where you need to present a very detailed description of yours. Even here in India, first you send the resume, and if there is a request for more details, then you should be sending curriculum vitae. The biodata, of course, the third aspect what we have spoken about is carrying more, but these three terms are quite and represent the resume that I think we can safely take it in that way. Now, later we talk about and all that. I'll come to you later. So, as I said, a resume is going to represent you. It is going to carry the same kind of confidence that you have it on the job analysis, and the kind of confidence you have in that, okay, and it basically represents you. Now, after a short break, we will look at what a resume is going to have. Welcome back. Now we'll look at what constitutes a resume is about wherein you are. What are the contents, typical contents? When you look into a template in the internet, very There are so many templates available out in the internet. You can choose the one which suits your requirement. But I would like to give you the consent overview of contents which are very important to understand. You write the resume is your name. Name in the capitalized letters, a bold one. Moment someone take the resume, your name should be appealing on the top. Also, you can attach a degree or the educational qualification that you have, BE, MBBS, certifications, PMP. So, moment they see these acronyms of the degree certificate, probably what you have, will also give a clear indication for the person that what is, I see a person and try to gauge what the person is going to be. When I look at about person is when I understand that you have done a BSc, Bachelor of Science, okay, I will get a fair idea into my mind what the person is all about. That will also give a good introduction to all your next further sections. It's kind of a first impression that one is going to have. So that's important. Second, career goal. What you would like to be, what do you want to be. This may not be applicable for the freshers, but is of a very important one to the experienced people. So here the career goal should be not talk about what you want to be in your life. You want to follow a management profession or a subject matter expert you would like to be, or you want to be a best service person, whatever you want, that what you want to be, in accordance with your career planning, you are going to write this punchline. The career goal. Next, punchline. Punchline or summary, one line about summarizing all your experience, embedded electronics and data systems. Okay. Gives line, talks about complete your experience. If someone don't have a patience to go through all your resume, a small block you can have where you are going to write some keywords. Guys, this is a very important step to write keywords of your knowledge and experience and other artifacts, also job history. Because what happens backside, in the back, when resumes are collected by a company manager, they may have 100 resumes like yours. Okay. Patience to go through each and every. All that they do, search for some keywords which they job profile and job requirements. So, moment they find a match, they stop there, look into details. So, it is very important for us to list the keywords. Nowadays, you also have a specific heading for this particular keywords. Call it as a keywords and then just type all the words that are important, so that it will help search for a right candidate for the person who is going to recruit you. Right? So it's an important step. Then work experience summary or experience summary and skills summary that you have. This should appear in the first page in a bulleted form. Maximum 10 or 12 bullets, not more than that. So you can talk about all sorts of things. Technology industry. Okay. So probably you have worked in a multicultural, multi-site development. Okay. Right. And interaction with customer, because most of the job understand how we are going to interact with the customer. So it is also integration, and then finally product requirement. So that gives a good idea about what are all the phases I have worked with. These are all very important to understand a person to understand about you. Now let's say the further as you go through, you also need to mention the work experience history, job employment history. This should be normally a typical table highlighting the role that you played, the duration, and also the company name. Okay, so this gives a very good information about how you have moved in the career. Further, educational qualifications, hobbies, date of birth, passport number, or any other particulars at a very short, maybe not more than 4 to 6 points. Okay, many people mention about their mother name, their business, not required. Work history. This you need to mention in a chronological order, reverse chronological order. That means whatever you have done first, recent, that should appear on the top, because everyone try to relate what is done recently rather started doing. So you go back in time, explain how in a particular organization. Typical ones more than maybe 2 or 3 lines max. So you can mention the role that you played, the duration, company name, and in brief about the responsibility that you handled, work they have done, basically about the program or a project they have gone through. Because finally resume is of you, present your capability and what kind of responsibilities you have handled in the past. Okay, so and another section, combine, put together not more than 2 or 3 lines. First page should contain, as I said, your name, career goal, in the bullet points about 10, not more than 10 or 12 bulleted points about your summary of your skills and the experience, and the career table, and the personal details, and finally the work experience. Not more than that. If it is, your resume will not be going through, and people will have least interest in go through. So it's very important you represent most important ones in the first page, then in the second and third page with the priority order as well. That is also an important stage. Those who are freshers, they may ask, I don't have, you have outside that you can mention, and some of the interests that you have, but you have some interest in certain fields, that also you can mention. But I'm sure, of course, whatever you write, you should be able to justify, substantiate with evidence as well, right? Because that carries your confidence as well. So I can't simply write some topics which should be job market oriented, which something a job employer is going to look at. It should make sense to them. Okay. Now, after a small break. As I said, resume is about 2 to 3 pages, not more than that. You can find lot of all written, all over the, so many templates are available. So pick up a template that suits you. However, if you are a profile or if you are always suggest, there are so many people offer that kind of a service. They write a resume and it is going to be very effective and impressive way, so that your resume is going to be investing will always pays back. Make it attractive. Finally, the person who is going to read your resume either will be looking on a computer screen or going to take it through the papers. Right? In both ways, it is a colorless. Your responsibility to highlight the points that you want to highlight to the person who is going to read as well. Okay. My full name is Harish Lakavalli. So in the resume, I will type complete Harish Lakavalli Ranganath, which is my father's name, which is a middle name as well. Harish Ranganath Lakavalli. This complete name is required to be mentioned, just because who may appear in the interview. When I go there, you may find two Harish. Okay. Then the person who is going to look at will be, who is this Harish I am talking about, right? One more thing, always the first name, even if you don't use the first name and the last name, will represent the person you are. It's a good chance. Where and all you think, as I said, where and all you think is a very important skill, or it can be a point you want to stress upon, you can make it. However, about have too many bold will basically use a font, Arial, Courier, Calibri, these kind of fonts are not the ornate fonts. Ornate fonts mean like some, the fonts which are having sharp edges, like Times Roman, okay, or it can be with a lot of lines, okay. Some fonts that we use for those kind of fonts, I mean what you call ornate fonts, okay, not required to be used in the here, because those are not distractors from the what they should have round shaped words. Calibri, when we press the Arial, looks better on the screen, round shapes, okay. So it's important, either you go for a Calibri or an Arial, unless otherwise there is a specific requirement that you have to go for other kind of fonts. Then please do not use abbreviations, because abbreviations are subject to the circle or the area that you are in. You see the letters or see the people whom you are going to send the resume. So those kind of abbreviations are okay, but not the common ones, etc. These kind of words should not be there, etc. Right? There are people use some abbreviations which others may not be able to understand. That is the reason you should always go for an expanded word. One of the person used example. We use EG dot as an abbreviation for examples. That it is not very well understood by many people what exactly is taking to some other completely different. Especially you should use it. Otherwise, people may think that you don't know about the technology much. Okay, so there is a way how we are going to distribute abbreviation vertical that we are applying. So you should not be using which are common. Nowadays, youngsters, okay, they use this texties as well. It means the words that you use while you chat over you simply mention the U letter. Okay, so these kind of to be represented in the resume, which is a very formal. This kind of texties, right? You are not portraying a good image of you. It shows someone in a hurry, not serious about their job, okay, or not taking the life, especially the career plan. It's a serious exercise. So it conveys the what do you call informality of you. Do not represent you basically. Or in other words, there may be a that this person is totally, not serious about the job at all. So such resumes, I'm sure, will be kept aside, will not be looked into at all. So you should use a formal language to be on a very safe side. People may need to use, those who are going to college students, right, who also use a lot of texties and comfortable and do not mind using of texties. But in texties in resume, but when you speak to them further, when you interact with them, then you can use. That is fine, but not at this point of time. Further, your address very clearly up to the country. Normally when I write my resume, many people do, okay, on the other side, on the bad side of writing the address, my name will not be there, just the door number, apartment number or a house name, then the street, the area which I am in, and the city or a village. That's it. No state is mentioned, pin as a city as well. Jayanagar in Bangalore, Jayanagar, they will not have a clue where this Jayanagar resides. Because I go in and out, so I will understand. But how about others? So you need not to mention, you need to mention completely the address. Second, many people write through which a correspondence can be done. Nowadays it is all through mails, okay. However, still if someone has to send you physically some letter or a mailer, then you write the communication address, not permanent, not temporary, nothing, where you are residing or where you can have the access to that mailer that comes to you. Here you also mention your mobile number or any other contact information, and as well alternate number. Many times what happens when the person try calling you there and someone so they will forget, okay, this resume, I'm not able to contact this guy, so I should, so you always also mention the alternate number, so in case that number what you mentioned is not available, then they will call if you have, or you can also mention your friend's number if at all. It is still fine, but have an arrangement with that person that if someone calls you, they call you back, okay. So you will have a track. Then the email ID once again, because the resume as an attachment goes, so you may not have a email part. In the that will be printed in all the pages of your resume. Times one should not be looking at where to write mail and all that. So just look at the top, maybe in an underline, mention your name, email address and the contact number. That is sufficient. A spelling corrections or a spelling check, grammatical checks. Very important, guys. What happens, many people copy the template from others or copy someone else's resume and they change all the contents. While doing so, there are two types of mistakes they do. First one is randomly they do it, because by doing it they may forget to remove even the name. Okay, many times we see a description between the name what is there on the top and the name what they are claiming in the bottom, right? Completely different. It shows how careless the person is. So resume from top to bottom. Go through the spell check. You have automated spell checks. No need to tell you how you need to do it. A great tool, right? Grammatic mistakes that you need to correct. So these are going to be very important. Most of the time it is not only viewed on the screen, but a resume is also printed. We will not be able to make out how the resume looks like. Okay, many people not even have a printed version. But it is important you take the format, the template, any other corrections you need to do, it pays a lot. Further, very importantly, you also don't have long sentences, paragraphs, mainly the bullet points, or represent information in a abstract level. Require that rather than telling a big story. No one will have patience to go through that. When there are 100 resumes, they always pick up the ones which they find the keywords. That is very important, and the format you have, that is also important. And see, few how we write an effective resume. Welcome back. Let's look at some of the Common asked. Should I have a photograph of it? Depends basically. If at all required, maybe I think it is at all you need to add that you have a passport size photo, a smiling one, appealing photo of yours. It is very important that smile in that face, your face in that photo. Very important. So it depends. So I think that with a soft copy, let's say, right? So you should have it in a first page itself after the keywords before you start telling about your summary of experience and the skills. That's important. Second, many people ask me, should I add a reference? Should I add a reference? Here, we used to have references. Normally it used to be mentioned. But in the resume, you need not mention the references. Reason is, you are going to talk to the person anyway. Right? Then they may ask you for the reference. So why to give it now itself? So references are a person who also knows Abdul Kalam. If you know Abdul Kalam, to tell you, then you can certainly mention that name in your resume. It will carry a lot. Okay. If a person, however, it depends on the circumstance. If you think the person you are going to mention in the reference is going to have a lot of influence on the job employer, I think you should mention. So it depends on the circumstance. My father's name, mother's name, and all that, their particulars, not because resume is all about you. So I don't think it is good to mention. Should I add a signature and the date and the place and all that? Normally, which I find in my letter. See, these are to be mentioned in the letter, not in the resume. When you send a resume, automatically that represents you. No need to sign it once again. That it is certifying that you have written. Okay. Or I certify that whatever mentioned in this book and to best of my knowledge, not required. What you are present, what resume of yours. So no need aspect which is very important as well about customizing your resume to suit to the requirement of a job that you have gone through. I told you in the previous episode how to do a job analysis and to see how your skills are going to fit into the requirement of a job. As I said, it can match, right? Now, in the one thing is true, there is no perfect person and a job requirement. So it is all about a best match. Doing so, it is very certain exercise that we do, a careful exercise that we need to do, in order to highlight the work that we have done, the skill that we have to match to the requirements. As I said, the resume should be not more than 2 to 3 pages, so it may be difficult for us to convey at times all the information about what the particular job is looking at. So you may not be able to do it in 1, 2 or 3 pages document. So you need to change the document to suit the requirements. Hello.
Am I speaking to Harish?
Yes, good morning.
I'm Venugopal. I'm Venugopal from Gulbarga.
Gulbarga. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I wanted to know, topic very interesting.
Okay.
But recently I have Gulbarga University.
Okay.
Apart from education qualifications, I do.
Yeah. As I said,
Okay.
see, if you are a fresher, okay,
Yeah.
you have a one thing sure you will be mentioning about your educational qualifications. That is the BE in mechanical and the electives. You know, you have specialization, right? In the
Yeah.
last couple of semesters, probably you electives.
Yes.
And you can mention about the project work that you have carried out in your college. Okay. Further, you can also mention about a few interesting subjects that probably you have read the books. Books, even that have such information. Okay.
Yeah.
That you can mention. You can also tell about some work you have done in this field, like okay. In addition to that, you would have either it may be your colleagues or your other students or the junior students. Okay, or it can also be building even a talk subject. Or discussed about it as well. So these things also I think you should be will add a lot of. But one important thing is that you mention these things, which is going to be in taste of the particular job analysis that you are going through. Okay. That means whatever you write should be in line with the required alignment. In fact, that is what I was talking about. That you should always resume job requirement, then it is a perfect match. But you should not write up something which you are not comfortable, or something that is that is not required. What you have done, okay, I'm more than just the qualification. They have gone through a lot of activities. So that should be highlighted.
Okay.
Worst case, you might have not written a book that of your interest. Okay, right? So I think that kind of things can be presented very well.
Okay.
Basically, it should show the skill set and the knowledge that you have. Okay, that is the fundamental way of looking at a resume, and that is what you are going to represent. So in that way, you can highlight the knowledge that you have either inside the college, outside the college, whatever you gain, or discussion with others, that can be mentioned.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this.
Points. Then in the keywords, you can add the keywords. In the keyword section, you add some words which probably you see a match between your skills and the job requirements in that keyword section. Points which will take you your resume shortlisting for that particular job requirements. These are all very important topics. Now, to people always LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn is a social media, especially made for. Okay, so not only your resume, people also will look into the LinkedIn profile. And that your resume is going to match with that. So write an overall profile in the link. Do it in the. Okay. So in a way, your link. Many companies require you to build a resume in their website. Having a resume, okay, is going to certainly help you in building your resume. Nowadays, and the companies are going for this kind of mode, which they will be able to handle in their organization within, easy for the archival. So again, very important, the keywords. Okay. With this, I just a resume is confidence. I'm going to portray you with the. It is as good as you are in front of the person who is reading the resume. To a particular job requirement where you highlight the requirements, how they are going to match with your job skills, with your skills and the knowledge that you have. Third thing is about some tips and tricks. You can also find lot of them in the over the make a comment and down to appeal the reader. Okay, good. With this, I'm going to come, I'll open up for the question and answers. You can call my number. Okay. So, meanwhile, when we are expecting the call, just would like to talk about finally, resume represents you, as I said. It should be flexible enough to adapt to a job requirements. So, don't have one resume, all the job, different type of job requirement that will not suit out. Especially this is a word of caution for the experienced people who customize the resume to very, very essential, because many people have one resume, sending it to whatever the job opportunities, not even going through in detail job opportunity, but keep on sending the resume to that. It is not going to be a helpful one. You are simply wasting your own time. Okay. So it is important that you customize your resume and send it. There will be a okay. Now, if there are no questions, then go through episode about how to send a resume, covering letter, prepare for an interview when you go through those resume. Okay. We'll close for it today.